Hey, good morning. Computer is firing right up on a Tuesday. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to the work week for probably most of you. We've got Terry in the house. Christian, good morning. Johnny Boy Cards, what is up? Harlan in the house. Great title. Thank you. Good morning to Ed. What's happening? Brian, what's up? It is. Got to get that trash can out tonight. Tuesday night trash. Taking it to the curb. Sal Dougie, what's happening? David in the house, good morning to you. We'll talk a little bit of eBay. We'll talk a lot about eBay. Talk about transaction fees today. We're going to talk about transaction fees and promoted listings. And my January is off to a really poor start. I've got a goal in mind sales dollar wise for 2023. And it's not like, okay, this is a set number for the whole year. It's just it's a moving target. But my previous goal has been missed 8 straight days. When I went through December and I think into January, hitting it like 22 consecutive days. So part of the reason was because I was out of town, and we're going to talk about promoted listings, and I do know why sales have been slow over the last near week. So which is almost 8 days, I guess. So that could all explain it. Kyle in the house, what's up? Yes, we are 4 days away from the Madison Card Show, Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive. Yesterday was a bear. But I'll stick in my lane, and we'll talk about my day. Stick in the lane of the Madison Card Show. So I spent some of the day and night getting the layout ready, because I've been inundated with new dealers wanting tables, which is an awesome issue to have. So I had to reach out and just confirm with my regulars. So some of my regulars were like, yeah, didn't I tell you? I'm like, I just want to make sure. So we're filling up fast. In fact, I'm waiting on a couple confirmations, and then I've got to reach back out to some people. So essentially we're already sold out. I've just got to confirm with a few people that are waiting for me. So I just wanted to make sure all of my regulars and past dealers had first right of refusal for this Saturday. 125 tables, free admission. Show runs 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. At the Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive, this Saturday for the Madison Card Show. Can't wait. Dan crossed 25,000 listings. Dan is a eBay machine. Dan, that is freaking awesome. I'm still sitting at 31,000, just chilling. Dan's doing like 5,000 a day. I'm doing like 5. Just chilling, just pokey little turtle. Let's see. Where are we at? Steve, good morning. Chilly, Florida. Steve's in Chilly, Florida. I'm in warm Wisconsin. It was 45 degrees yesterday, and it rained in the middle of usually this is the time of year when we have like our worst weather, like mid-January, and I'm always holding my breath because Cubs convention. Now I have another weekend with the Madison Card Show, and I'm like every day checking the weather. Okay, please be good Saturday. Please be good. So far, it looks good. So far, the weather for the rest of the week here in southern Wisconsin is looking to be unseasonably warm for this time of year. So we've got, where are we at? We were 45 yesterday with rain all day, which is melting that snow. Okay by me. Looks like we do have some snow chances Thursday, but today we're going to be 42, 37 on Wednesday, 34 with snow on Thursday, Friday 28, Saturday 29, and looks like another snow chance Monday of next week. Then it looks like we get cold next week. Middle of next week, we drop down into the single and double digits, which, hey, it's okay. It's January, but it's kind of nice to have these 40-degree days. It used to, the way my mind worked, like when I was younger, back in my younger days, I didn't like unseasonably warm weather in the winter because it was like a tease and I didn't like to be teased. And now I love it. It's like because every day that's 45 in January is just one step closer to like the real warm weather that we get so little of here in the upper Midwest. So I might as well have a day of 45 and get teased than a day of minus 45. So sometimes that's what we get in the middle of January here is 20 below zero with wind and a 50 below wind chill and a foot of snow. So far, we've got no snow on the ground. It's all melted away and unseasonably warm temperatures. So it's fine by me. ATX, what's up? I'm thinking of making another big push myself on eBay. Very nice. We're going to talk all things eBay this morning. Herman, what's up? Good morning, Hobby World. And guess what? I think a little birdie told me our friend 3B Collection, Herman, is going to be making a return to Hobby Hotline tonight. And I believe our friend Uncle Rich Klein, who I see just popped into the chat, is also going to be on Hobby Hotline tonight, 8 p.m. Central. Check it out, Hobby Hotline. Augusta Lawn Care says, good morning, all. Getting up late, got a little head cold. Ooh. We were talking about that, me and one of my buddies that we roomed at the Cubs convention this past weekend. He mentioned it. He goes, what are the chances we're going to get sick this week? Because a lot of beer was drank, lowering our immune systems, and a lot of people were in our company, which, people that just in January in Chicago, that just tends to be a petri dish. So we'll see. I didn't get crazy ass drunk this weekend, which is good. I didn't stay up. I mean, in past years I have. In past years, we've gone to Kerry Wood's fundraiser, and in midnight, 1 a.m., we're coming to the hotel. My autograph buddies are in the lobby. It's like, all right, let's go graph. And then it's 3 a.m. I'm drinking beer and going to bed at 3 a.m. and then waking up at 9 and doing it all again the next day. Didn't do that this year, which is pretty nice for my liver and for my head. And hopefully for my immune system as well. And hopefully because this week I need to stave off any illnesses to get through to the Madison card show. Good morning, Cooter. What is up? What is up? Let's see, where are we at? Oh, I skipped ahead. So we are at Uncle Rich. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. YouTube Shorts, man, are getting me some views. And I put up, and I think there's like some strategery involved in getting the right views at the right times. Because what I noticed, I think Saturday I put put a short, like within an hour. And so none of them were getting any traction. Then all of a sudden, one of my shorts just blew up and had like 1,500, 2,000 views. So I decided I'll just kind of sprinkle them out. And so I did yesterday. I'll talk about my day here in a second. While I was sitting getting my battery replaced in my vehicle, I put up, I think it was Cody Bellinger getting introduced at Cubs convention. And boom, that had like 800 views and like 500 views in like the first 20 minutes. I'm like, damn. So YouTube Shorts have been pretty fun. I like watching that number rise. Good morning, Brian. What's happening? Augusta says, holy cow, DR, congrats. I'm happy I crossed 700 listings last night. Dan is a machine. Rich says, that is correct. I offered to call in, but the scheduled hosts could not make it, so I'm on for the whole show. ATX says, yeah, the overcharges on fees have been getting me too. So we're going to talk about that. eBay overcharge, the transaction fee overcharges. And I have a Zoom call set up this afternoon with like people like high up in eBay, finally getting somewhere. So that's this afternoon. I'll talk more on that. Cooter, what's happening? John is with us. What was bath time like each evening at the Cubs convention? We don't take bath or we don't shower. Just put on some deodorant and go about your day. Let's see where we at. I listed the last of my Brady cards last night, realized the mistake, and listed Prescott cards during the game. Actually ended up selling one of each. Nice. I brought last night. I brought up some cards. I was going through some football cards after dinner last night, and then it's like I just need couch time. I need some couch time. I missed my couch. Like I didn't have couch time at all over the week. Like 3 days without my couch. I needed some couch time last night. So I grabbed some of those color like mosaic that came in the Goodwill palette, which by the way, there's still like a ton of cards in my car from the Goodwill palette. So there were some Brady's. I still had a couple Trevor Lawrence cards to list. So I took them upstairs to the couch, and guess what? I didn't list a card. I just laid on the couch. Let's see. Brian says, set up at a 3-day card show this last weekend. First time since my last show in 94. Holy moly. How many years is that? 20? That's almost 30 years. Jesus. Almost. Can you believe it's almost 30 years since 1994? Oh, making me feel old. I upgraded my store this year. 151% listing impressions. One sale? Yeah, that's I'm still not sure about that. Siri. What did I ask Siri? Oh, I don't know. Get that out of my pocket. Raphael, what's happening? Good morning to you. Steve says, but good news is I went over 40,000 views on my YouTube channel. Very nice. That is awesome. John says, also upgraded my subscription this week. Was sick of seeing the insertion fees. There you go. My shorts blew up as well. Parking lot of Taco Bell 1992. Watched your short. Did Ethan have his superfractor in his jeans pocket? Yes, he did. So in the Ethan Roberts video, if you watch that short, I was up in the front row during opening ceremonies. And so when I yelled out to Ethan, he pointed, you see it in the video, he points to his jeans pocket, and he had his pants pocket, and he had his superfractor in his pocket. So I don't think you can actually see the superfractor, but you can see him point at the superfractor. Low Roller wants to know the latest big hit. I haven't found anything else. It's just a bunch of $1.50 cards, which I kind of like because I can move those fast. So yeah, I went through just a random football box last night, which is basically just a quarter box with maybe some dollar box stuff in there as well. Flipping Sports Guy says, who misses more, Bo trying to get somewhere with eBay or Maher attempting extra points? It's close. It's a close call. I prefer frustrated eBay Bo over placated eBay Bo by far. I want to be placated. I want to stop spending all this money on frickin' extra transaction fees. Hopefully I'm placated by 4 o'clock this afternoon. Mark says, good morning. What's up? Looks like you had a blast at the Cubs convention. It was. Cubs convention was just absolutely awesome, as always. It's when first timers that go, they're like, I'm in it. Next year, I'm coming. Just an awesome time. And the autographs, man, so many people. My goal for autographs at Cubs convention was like 25. Like if I get 25 autographs, I'm going to be really happy. And usually I was like between 20 and 25. I think, and I haven't pulled out all my stuff, I'm pretty sure I'm at 30, around 30 autographs. And when the list came out, it's like, oh, I've got all these guys before. I don't need any of these. The autographs I needed were like the new free agent acquisitions that, what are the chances I'm going to get a Dansby Swanson autograph? Pretty low. Unless you're like, and that's your plan. If you make that your plan, you can do it. Might take you a little money. But I didn't, it wasn't, none of that was like, if I get it, I'll be happy. If not, I'm okay. I'm happy also. So I still ended up with, because baseballs is what that's my first autograph I want on a baseball. Then I go to, if I have an 8 by like a selfie or a group photo or something like that, I go with the 8x10, and then I go with cards. And I mean, you would think I'm kind of doing this backwards. You would think I'm a card guy, I'm a card collector. You would think I would want autograph cards first, and that's kind of my third on the list. So I took a bunch of cards, and a lot of what I got was on cards. I don't think I had any 8x10 signed. I took like 5 or 6. And I had a feeling it was probably Cubs convention was probably not who I wanted. It's going to be a lot easier at spring training to get the guys because they're like prospects. It'll be easier. They were at CubsCon, Daniel Palencia, Kevin Alcantara, Ed Howard, but I'll be able to get them easier at spring training. But yeah, and I'm like, I don't need any of these guys on baseballs. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, I guess I do need a lot of these guys on baseballs. And I even missed a few targets that I needed, that, had I been patient Saturday morning, I would have gotten. But I think I still ended up with about a dozen signed baseballs, and then probably another 20 cards. So I was happy with my autograph count, which was more than usual and way more than I expected. I'm like, if I come out with like 15 autographs, I'll be okay, or even a dozen. If I get a dozen, I'm okay, because it wasn't about autographs really. It was I just wanted to hang out, have fun, and see some old friends. Let's see, where we at? Let's see. ATX says I've gotten a credit from them already for the overcharges, $5. They gave me a $100 credit a week ago or so. So, but that's still, and I'm sure $5 is far short of what you're owed, and $100 is far short of what I'm owed. But what does that tell us? That they've given ATX Treasure Chest a credit. They've given me a credit. What does that tell us? eBay has done some wrong. And is it on purpose? Probably not. But there's an issue. We're going to get to the bottom of it. I think the most frustrating part of it is I haven't gotten any answers. Nobody is telling me what's going on. I've had more people through chat, which I think we've discovered what actually is going on with the transaction overcharges. So we know the problem, which I'm going to bring up in my Zoom call this afternoon. But why is that? That shouldn't be a problem. When I order from any other website, it doesn't divide if I buy multiple items, even if it's, say, from blowout cards. If you order from blowout cards, if it's pre-order and something that's in stock, it doesn't divide that up into multiple transactions. So there's an issue that we know what's going on. Why is it happening? Make it stop. That's what we need to do. So we're going to get to the bottom of this today. Oh, fingers crossed. Brian Baker, what's up? New subscriber. Glad to finally catch you live. Thank you, Brian. Brian, I must ask, are you the Brian Baker from the Madison Card Show? Welcome, Brian. Brian Dean says, welcome to another new Brian. Brian Wolf. It's Brian Overload. Brian Dean, Brian Baker, Brian Wolf. Spells his name right also. Cooter says his pocket. Should we have a session to teach Ethan how we store and care for cards? In fact, here, I want to tell you a little insider secret. Ethan joked about getting one of those things that Logan Paul had with his Pokemon card. He's like, I should get one of those and wear it like a necklace like Logan Paul. That would have been epic. Ethan's own Superfractor on one of those, and I think there's probably a company that makes those. There's a company that is sprouted out from, let's do this. And it's, it's kind of a one-up. Can you make a company off of that idea? I don't think so. But hey, bottled water is big business. So I guess, hey, anything's possible in America. Victor, his goal was 10 autos, and he got 40. 40! That is freaking awesome. I am so happy for Victor because it was his first time. And I know a lot of people that go in, and I try to it's kind of like when new dealers, first-time dealers, set up at a card show or ask me, what should I expect going into a card show for the first time? And I'm like, go in with like low expectations. Like, come out with a number that you'd be happy with and expect like 20% of that, because we always overshoot the mark. Um, I go in and sometimes I think, I'm going to make X amount of money, and guess what? I fall well short. And then sometimes if I make more than that, I'm happy. So it's kind of a mindset thing. And so that's what I tell people similar in Cubs convention when they're going for the first time. In fact, I was in line on Friday in the garage sale / grab bag line. And this is one of my favorite parts of Cubs convention is waiting in line. You wait in a lot of lines. So if you're impatient and don't like lines, if you don't like the Cubs fan, don't go to Cubs convention. If you do like the Cubs, if you're a Cubs fan, but you hate lines, Cubs convention probably not gonna be for you. But if you're okay with waiting in lines, it's kind of fun meeting people. So I met this husband wife. They were behind me. The cool story. They were behind me in line for the. Here I am. Here I am, a grizzled Cubs Con veteran, and I'm in the wrong line. But hey, we had a good conversation. At first, I had just checked in. So I checked in, and then I went to Cubs Authentics because I wanted to see if there were any Ethan Roberts jerseys from last season, game used jerseys in the Authentics store. So then after that, you go straight up, and I got into what I thought was the garage sale / grab bag line. So I'm there, and it's like, I'm going to, you get, so at Cubs convention, if you're not familiar, when you check in, you get a bag of, it used to be goodies. Now it's just like a calendar and a scratch off. So the scratch off is how you get like the big name autographs. Ryan Sandberg, actually, I don't even think Andre Dawson was I think he was a freebie, but Ryan Sandberg, like superstar type guys. That's how you get, and you just scratch it off. And usually it's a $5 off the Cubs team store, which once again, that's what I got. 7 out of 8 conventions, $5 off. My only autograph pull was Cole Hamels, which was a good one. So I'm scratching off, and the lady goes, "Oh, what is that? We got one of those in our bag." And I'm like, and this was their first time at Cubs convention. I said, "Well, this is a scratch off, and this is how you get like the big name autographs." And she's like, "Oh, well, we should scratch ours." So the husband scratched his, and it was $5 off the Cubs team store. I'm like, "Yeah, that's what you're gonna get." So the wife scratched hers off, and she's like, "Stage A, 3 p.m. Saturday." And I'm like, "You got an autograph! Beginner's luck." So she's like, "Well, who do I get? How do I know who I get?" Well, I'm like, "We have to go look it up because it'll say, go to the website. It'll have the program. It'll have the schedule." So we go, and another guy was in line. He's like, "Saturday, 3 p.m., stage A, Ryan Sandberg." And she's like, "So what, do I have to bring something for him to say?" It's like, "Yeah, or you could probably sell that for like $200. People will pay good money for that." So that was cool. And then we found out we were in the wrong line. I got into the wrong line. So there was actually no line for the grab bags. So we had a nice conversation, waiting in line that we didn't actually have to wait in line. Anyway, and also they live in Chicago, this couple I was talking with. And talking about that, and I'm like, "Yeah, I live in Madison, Wisconsin. I grew up, downstate, like Quad Cities area." And they're like, "Well, we're from the Quad Cities." The wife was from, I think, Davenport or Bettendorf on the Iowa side. The husband was from Sherrard, which my high school, Sherrard, we played each other. And I'm like, "Oh, do you know this guy?" And he's like, "Yeah, we went to school together. He was a year ahead of me." And I'm like, "I know him well. After I was out of school, he was the basketball coach at my high school. So I know him well." And I'm like, "You probably know this guy. I know him through working in radio." So very cool. Small world. That's one of the fun things about Cubs convention is waiting in line and meeting new people, and usually finding out you have like some connection in some way. Let's see. Zach and Porter, what is up? Cubs convention looked fun. Absolutely. I don't know if you've been to White Sox Fest. They canceled it this year, but I've heard White Sox Fest is actually a really good time. So, Zach, if they do it again, I would encourage you and Porter to check out White Sox Fest if they bring it back next year, because I've heard really good things. I always wanted to go, especially when the Cubs traded away like Dylan Cease and Eloy Jimenez. Had some former Cubs on the team, but it was always the weekend after Cubs convention. It's like, I don't have the patience to go back for a second convention. It's definitely not to the scale of Cubs convention. It wasn't the scale of, but it was a fun weekend apparently from what everybody has talked about. Brian says with an I is the only correct way. T206 kid, what is up? When I was set up at Cubs convention in 2018, we ran into the old Bills coach Marv Levy. Really? That's really cool. That is super cool. And it sucks that there were no vendors. The only vendors were like the minor league affiliates, obviously the Cubs team store and Authentics, and then like Obvious Coffee had a booth upstairs, or Obvious Coffee. Obvious Shirts had a booth downstairs, and then Ian Happ's coffee shop, Connect Roasters, had a booth up on the ballroom level. Let's see. Where are we at? Herman says a Swanson auto would be awesome. Herman, my son purchased a Swanson jersey. Very cool. Boomba Sports Cards, what is up? How was the Cup extravaganza? Nice Trey Mancini signing. Yes, found that out. I was in the hotel lobby, and I was just scrolling through Twitter, and all of a sudden I'm like, we just signed Trey Mancini. And so that was the talk of the convention on Saturday night. Paige and Deanie Bean, what is up? Good morning. Terry said, I looked through my transactions and didn't find any problems yet. Knock on wood. That is excellent. Brian says, there was a guy doing card art right next to me, so I ended up with a really cool Brock Purdy custom card art. Oh, very cool. Very nice. Victor's going to post some autos on Twitter. John says, imagine trying to explain to someone 10 years from now who Brock Purdy is. It's kind of like explaining to the youth who Todd Marinovich and Dan McGuire are today. What kind of coffee are we sipping today? This is just Trader Joe's, which is one of my favorites, one of my go-tos. I basically only drink 3 types of coffee: Dunkin', Trader Joe's, and Door County, which I haven't had Door County. I think I'll have to go back. I've got to make a grocery store run at some point this week, so I'll have to go back and get either some peanut butter crunch or Highlander grog. Those are the 2 go-tos from Door County that I like. Victor says, yes, true. I met so many people while in line waiting for autos. Brian Wolf says, hopefully he wins a Super Bowl. No explanation needed then. That is very true. But I won't buy an overpriced regular card of Brock, not a hype man. LOL, 49ers fan. Flipping Sports Guy says, had my first fun sale yesterday. Sold a Brady House Bowman Chrome insert to his younger brother. Very cool. I think I sold an Anthony Volpe over the weekend to his father. Same name as his father, same city. And I looked at the back as I was getting ready to ship it. I look at the back to see where Anthony Volpe was from. And it was the same city that I was shipping it to. And the name was his father's name. I'm like, hey, this is really cool. And I know the Volpes are very active in buying Volpe cards, because I've sold several Volpe cards to Volpes. Let's see. Where are we at? Red Light 34, good morning. Listening from the Crane. What is up? Good morning to you. John says, wait a minute. People pay $200 to wait in line to get a dude to scribble their name on something. Oh, yeah. Just think what they pay at like the National or some of the big card shows. Like Mariano Rivera charges like $600. So 200 is kind of like, for a superstar, 200 is cheap for a superstar. You can get like in like some of the like signings we're in January, so that I don't know if the Chicago Sports Spectacular has their autograph lineup yet. Probably not. It's only January. Still 2 months out. Is there a TriStar show? I'd like to just, let's see. March 17th through the 19th. Let's see. Loading files. See if they have any information. Friday guests. Denny McClain. Denny McClain signs everywhere. This Brazilian pop artist, Gabby B. She signs at every sports spectacular. No idea who she is. She's very, very good looking. Let's see. Floyd Money Mayweather. There's no pricing though. Okay. So, but yeah, some of these autographs are like $500 to wait in line. Let's see. Christian says Detroit Tigers equals most unfan friendly team in the league. Okay, maybe second to the A's. James says, did you change your eBay shipping? No. So that's what we've crowdsourced is likely the problem. I want eBay to tell me that because I don't want to go in and do mass changes because their settings shouldn't be allowing, even if it shouldn't be my problem, right? It shouldn't be. Here's my issue. If this is in fact the problem, and I think multiple people watching these videos have said it's likely your different shipping settings, it shouldn't be on me or you, an eBay seller, to change settings to mask, to put a Band-Aid on eBay's problem of splitting transactions. That should be eBay. Their system should identify that. Oh, we charged a transaction fee because we're pulling money from this buyer's account in one transaction. So then why now are we splitting the transaction on the seller side? And then it makes no sense to me. I'm also not an IT guy. But we're going to get to the bottom of it. So I have not done that because I want eBay, somebody from eBay, to tell me what is going on. That's what I want. A's are fan friendly. They just don't have fans. Augusta says, obvious coffee. What's on your mind this morning? Obviously coffee. Come back to Philly A's. They'll appreciate you in Philadelphia. Actually, you know what? They'll appreciate you in Montreal. Hopefully, they stopped appreciating the Expos. But I want Montreal Expos back. Let's see. Augusta says, I may be wasting my time, but again, I do this for fun. I'm putting a list of career highlights on my Hall of Famer card listings. Was wondering if you would mind if I could send you one for the show, maybe once a week as fun facts type announcement. Let's see. Sure. Yeah, that'd be okay. Johnny Boy Card says Trader Joe's coffee. I am drinking it as well. Excellent choice. I'm a fan. Zach and Porter says, nope, never attended anything like that. We will have to think about doing something that if Jerry ever brings it back. Let's see. Brian says TJ's coffee in my cup. LOL. Excellent. A popular choice among the chat. Trader Joe's coffee. Joe Caprino. What's up, Joe? We got Rhino's auto for free. He did sign a couple in the lobby Saturday night. He signed, I think, for 2 guys because he was getting on he was with family, so it's understandable. So that he didn't wait around and sign in the lobby. But he did sign. If he was around, he would typically sign. John says, because so many people are still collecting Hostetler and Rippon because they won Super Bowls. Well, it's not hobby, but people know they won Super Bowls. I think people still, the names are recognizable. Now are the cards, but I mean, the same can be said for, let's see, who's collecting, really, who's collecting Joe Montana cards? How many Joe Montana collectors are out there? And that dude was one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I would put Joe Montana top 3 all-time quarterbacks. How many people do you see at the Dallas Card Show, Philadelphia Card Show, Chicago Sports Spectacular ask, you got any Joe Montana cards? Nobody. Everybody wants everybody wants Brock Purdy. And next year, not many people will want not many people will want Brock Purdy because there's going to be a new it guy, a new it QB. It's probably going to be Bryce Young next year. Everybody Brock who? Who else is highly collectible right now? Whoever else is because everybody next year is going to be chasing Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and Will Levis. Let's see. James says, seen somewhere $4, some are free shipping. Oh, James, I think I know. Yeah, I gotcha. I know what you're talking about. So yes, somebody reached out to me via message and they're like, hey, is this supposed to be $4? No, it's supposed to be free. Yes. So I tried to go in and change a setting. And of course, what did that do? It screwed up. So there's a few, and those were done with my phone. So there's a lot of issues going on. So yes, coding problem, not IT. Okay, I have no idea what the difference between coding and IT are. Everything that's technological, I just figure is IT related because I don't know the difference. So yeah, there shouldn't be any $4 shipping on really anything in my store. Everything should be free shipping in my store. TD Sports Cards, what's happening? Good morning. Let's see. Where's Mark's comment? Mark says some autograph fees are insane. Just saw Bobby Bonilla was $150 at a local Mets show. I remember getting Joe DiMaggio for $8, Mickey Mantle for $12. However, that was 1985. Yeah, times they are a changing. My buddy always tells me the story of this is down in Galesburg, Illinois, and they would have Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, and they were always like $5, $10 for autographs. And then all of a sudden, the next year, Joe DiMaggio came to town, and they were $50. Now today, try getting a Joe DiMaggio legit autograph for $50. Not going to happen. What are they? Probably 500. I don't know that market. Probably 500 for a DiMaggio auto right now. And I'm like, I would have trouble paying $50 today for an autograph. I'm an autograph collector, but it's like, $50, I'll buy a card. I'll buy a card for that. And it's like, and this was back in like the early 90s for $50. Now I was 10 years old, 12 years old in the early 90s. So it's like $5. Yeah, I wouldn't have paid $5 for Joe DiMaggio autograph because I knew who Joe DiMaggio was, but he wasn't worth $5 to me. But apparently he was worth $50 to others. And in hindsight, that was a mistake by Biddy Bo. Brian Baker says, guys, how you adding to your inventory aside from card shows, getting connections from local stores, collectors, Goodwill? What's the approach for Goodwill? Goodwill has auctions on their website. Other sourcing, I just get stuff from dealers at card. Like most of my bulk I buy from dealers at card shows. And so my inventory is like $2 cards. But I can get $2 cards, that I sell on eBay for $2 in bulk for a penny a card from dealers. And surprisingly, it's like if somebody offers me bulk, and I've turned a lot of bulk down recently because I'm kind of inundated at the moment. And I'm actually trying to get rid of bulk. A lot of it I turn away because it's like modern stuff, and like modern football and modern basketball for me is just not moving. So it's like I'd rather have a 4-row box filled with a bunch of 80s and 90s baseball superstars, not 91 Fleer Commons, but superstars, and inserts and just random stuff that I can, easily move. And I can easily move those in my store much faster than modern stuff, especially when it's football, basketball. That modern stuff for football, basketball is just not moving in my eBay store. But I'm also baseball centric. So maybe I just haven't acquired the football, basketball buyer's market. Let's see. TD says Purdy, Dak, or Mahomes for the win. Rick says, hit the like button. Enjoy the podcast. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate that. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. John says, I think the Expos was a Jeffrey Luria thing. He bought the team and leveraged a move to increase the value of his team. Let's see. Augustus says, I found one Purdy card I had and listed it. Well, heck yeah. Insects live very short lives. There are many insects in the hobby. Be a tortoise. After the Bonds-Clemens Hall of Fame vote, I hold Sandberg in the same esteem as Keating holds Garvey. Yeah, I don't like that. And I've had pleasant interactions with Ryan Sandberg. Like I haven't had a poor interaction with Sandberg, and I've met him a few times. But I have heard from others who have not had positive interactions with Ryan Sandberg. I've heard stories from both sides, but now I don't agree with Sandberg's take and his not voting for Bonds and Clemens, and he's been outspoken against the PED users. I don't agree with his take, but it doesn't affect how I feel about him as a person or a Cubs alumni. Let's see. John says you also don't know the difference between fob batteries and car batteries. That is true. Plenty of inventory in my basement. Bring a truck. Sandberg and his grandkids are douches. So my car, we're on the road again. So, but it was not without some fail. Like I didn't have enough of that on Friday with it. So so after my show, I went to the gas station. I tell you what, I had a Camry for my rental car. Those get good gas mileage. Here I am. Signs that you're over 40. You're talking about how good your gas mileage is. Boy, that Toyota Camry, that's got good gas mileage. That good. Drove all the way down to Crystal Lake and back. Topped it off, baby. $15. It's like less than a dozen eggs. Ooh, I went there. So I filled it up. Took it back to Enterprise. I'll tell you what. Shout out to Enterprise. They were awesome. It was like the easiest process. It was the easiest process to rent a car. So easy. I got online. Boom, boom. Put my information in to avoid all the paperwork at the desk when I got there. Get there, like, hey, I'm Bo. I checked in, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's take you to your car. Here it is. It's new, so there shouldn't be any damages, but let's just take a look. Let me know if you see anything. Nope. Boom. Here's the keys. And away I go. Come back. I had the Camry, Thompson, and they're like, okay, have a seat. It's raining. You can stay in here, have a seat. Car looks good. Oh, you even brought it early. Guess what? It was $50 less than what I was quoted. I think I was quoted like $242 and change, and it ended up being $198. So like $45 less. That's a win. Now, did I want to spend $200 just to drive to the train station? No, but we've got to take small victories. So that was an easy process. I'm like, yeah, 5 stars all the way, buddy. This is great. A friend of mine came over. He was already waiting for me as I got back from the Enterprise. He's got one of those, and I need to get these in case this happens again, and I don't have to phone a friend. Like remote jumper cables. I'm like, hey, here's the garage code if you want to pull your truck in and just start. And he's like, oh, I don't even need to do that. He's got these like remote jumper cables. I didn't know. Are you surprised that I didn't know these were a thing? With my gear headedness or lack thereof. So yeah, he just boom, boom, boom. He's like, boy, your battery's way back there. Keep that in the back of your head for a moment. Fire it up. Okay. Give it a second. Pump on the gas a little bit. All right, try it again. Starts right up. Okay, now I want to get to AutoZone, replace the battery in case the battery dies. I don't want to go through this again. So fire it up. Go to AutoZone. And because they'll replace it for you. I go into AutoZone. I'm feeling good. I've got my rental car returned. It was $50 less. My car's running. I've got that Vince McMahon strut. AutoZone's going to replace the battery for me. Hey, we're in. I'm like, yeah, can you replace a car battery for me? The guy looks at me and he goes, what's your car? I said, it's a Ford Edge. I'm happy. I'm still, yeah. He's like, I don't know. I gotta go look. Oh, he just popped my balloon. Like, this doesn't sound good. So we walk out, we pop the hood. Nope, can't do it. What? He goes, it's way back there. We've got to take this thing out. I don't even know what it is. Is it a catalytic converter? That's something that's in the engine that I know, but I don't know if they make those anymore. Maybe those are only on old cars. What else is it? A radiator? It could have been that. What else is in an engine? I don't know. Whatever. It was like a big hose looking thing. I don't know what it was. He's like, yeah, we got to move this. And yeah, you're probably going to have to move that. Take this out. We're not going to do that. I'm like, well, who will do that? Will O'Reilly's do that? Will your competition do that? He's like, you're going to have to take this to like a service shop or the dealership. I just saw John's comment. So I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. Okay. So I get in the car and I look up my dealership, Ford dealership, call them up. Of course, they don't answer. They never answer. I'm like, I know it's King Day. I know it's a holiday, but not for like a car dealership. I thought that was only for like the bank and the post office. So I call, service shop, didn't answer. Call the other place that had a phone number, didn't answer. Call the main desk. Somebody answered. Hey, can I get a battery replaced? Okay, let me transfer you over to service. Service answers this time. I need her battery replaced. Well, we're backed up until February. Well, it's January 16th, and I need a battery today, so that's not going to work. They're like, but Quick Lane's open, and you don't need an appointment. Ooh, hey, that's all right. So I take it to Quick Lane. They're like, yeah, you're looking at about a 45-minute wait. 45 minutes? Well, that's better than 6 weeks. Sign me up. So they replaced my battery, and they come in, and I knew they were going to upsell me on something. They're like, and my windshield wiper, one of my windshield wipers was starting to like fall off. Do you think I'm going to replace that? They're like, yeah, the guy says your windshield wipers need replaced. It's going to be like $30. And I'm like, I could probably go to AutoZone and get them for like 10, but I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. So yeah, just flip and do it for me. So 45 minutes was actually an hour and a half, but still better than 6 weeks waiting for service. So batteries replaced, car as well, new key fob batteries. Key fobs are fully functional. Battery is fully functional. And away we go. So let's go back into the chat. We're going to talk some eBay still. Let's see. This is a Progressive commercial. I check out Craigslist and have a general post that I buy card collections that way. I do know some people here in my area do the same and have success with it. Playing catch up. I like ripping cards. I also put aside Frank Reich cards. What a game. Bo is looking for the crank to start up the car. What's up, Paul Carl in the house? Brian says, LOL, 2 screwdrivers and a hammer. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. I think I've got some pliers somewhere also. What's up, baseball card curmudgeon in the house? DR says, Herman should totally do a chicken and eggs video. The fans want a chicken video. Herman, we want a chicken video. AutoZone doesn't replace batteries for people under 70 with penises. That's probably accurate. Let's see. AutoZone. Oh, we just talked about that. I'm no gearhead, but I know the radiator is always in the very front. I couldn't tell you. If you open up the hood, sometimes I can't even do that. I can't even figure that out. I can point out the battery. And I can tell you where the fluid for the windshield wipers goes. That's about all I can. And the antifreeze container. I don't know what the antifreeze is. There like a thing? Is there like a mechanism that fires the antifreeze? Like, is the radiator? Is that part of the antifreeze container? I don't know. My dad's rolling in his grave right now. Zach says, I'm today years old, realizing that Rhino did not have a career. I like calling him Rhino because I feel like if I say Ryan, I feel like I'm saying Ryan all the time. So I like calling him Rhino just to make sure I'm not mispronouncing Rhino. Rhino didn't have a career batting average over 300, did not have 3,000 hits or 500 homers. His gold gloves must have helped him like Ozzy. John says, let's see. Sandberg was Harold Baines before Harold Baines was Harold Baines. Come on. That is a travesty. Let's, son of a bitch, John. John, you son of a bitch. Don't speak ill of my man, Rhino. Let's see. Ryan Sandberg and Harold Baines. Let's just look at these numbers. Harold Baines. Harold Baines, career WAR 38.8, 2,866 hits, 384 home runs, 289 career batting average, 1,628 RBI, 34 stolen bases. Those are just stats. We can look. He's a silver slugger and a 6-time All-Star. I think All-Star is pointless. Ryan Sandberg, old Rhino, 68 WAR. That's 30 more than Harold Baines. 2,386 hits. Okay, that's 500 less. 282 home runs. That's 100 less. 285 career batting average, just a few points under Harold Baines. 1,061 RBI. That's a lot less RBI than I expected. 344 stolen bases. That's over 300 more than Mr. Baines. Baines was also a DH and right fielder. Sandberg was second base, third base. So you have those position qualities in there. Ryan Sandberg also was a National League MVP. Mr. Baines was a silver slugger, but Sandberg was a 7 times silver slugger. Ryan Sandberg was a 9 times Gold Glove and 10 All-Star appearances, which we don't care about. So there you go. Sandberg, boom, Hall of Famer. Way better than Harold Baines. Oh, look, they moved the eBay listing report deprecation date to February. Oh, interesting. Guess it's more work to remove it than they thought, right? TD Sports Cards says Jeff Kent doesn't get no love. I'm not a Jeff Kent Hall of Fame fan. Well, let's see. Maybe after seeing, because I think Ryan Sandberg's definite Hall of Famer. How's Jeff Kent compare? Jeff Kent does have a 55.4 WAR, 377 home runs, 290 batting average, 1518 RBI, 94 stolen bases, 4-time Silver Slugger, National League MVP, and 5-time All-Star. Okay, Jeff Kent, he's got an argument you could make for Jeff Kent. And he played the same positions as Mr. Sandberg. Not bad. Okay, I'm feeling the Jeff Kent love. Rhino was 7th lowest percentage to get in the Hall of Fame. Craziest stat, Cy Young was 6th. Wow. Let's see. Paul Carl says, nobody badmouth Rhino. I sell a lot of his cards. Gosh, I wish I sold Cubs cards. I could make a killing. I bet I have between 20 and 25,000 Ryan Sandberg cards altogether. Of course, duplicates included. I'm sure I have about 2,087 tops. I'm sure of it. Let's see. Augustus says it's part of the antifreeze system. Yes, the antifreeze absorbs the heat from the engine and distributes it through the radiator, also known as the grill. It's interesting. I think my dad taught me that when I was 5, and I just didn't retain that knowledge. I was too busy studying up on baseball. Article from 2012, so Baines not on there. Augustus says, so fun question. Who is the only QB to start and win 2 Super Bowls yet not be in the Hall of Fame? 2 Super Bowls. Can I just scroll forward and see the chat? Eli Manning? Is it Eli Manning? And don't look it up. I'm just going to cheat and look at the chat. I'll say Eli Manning. Let's see. Where are we at? Let's see. So the wind goes through it, removes the heat. Victor, me and Victor are on the same page. We're going to gang up and beat up John next time we see him. Well, actually, the first time we see him, we're going to slap John Keating around. Let's see. Paige and Deanie Bean says, war, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Come on. I'm pro-war, as in baseball, not the other kind. The prosecution rests. Let's see. Keating for the win. Come on, Cooter. You boomers and your Rhino hate. Let's see. Where are we at? Dilfer, says John. Oh, that's a good guess. Eli Manning. I'm going to go with Eli Manning because I think he won 2 Super Bowls. Let's see. Paige and Deanie Bean is looking it up. John says Brock Purdy. Augusta says has to be eligible, not retired last few years. Sorry, should have explained that. So it's not Eli Manning because I don't think he's eligible yet. Let's see. Jim Plunkett. Jim Plunkett is the correct answer. Ooh, Rascal 30. Good job. Jim Plunkett. And see, I don't know enough about Football Hall of Fame, how it works, stat benchmarks. I don't know anything about that, about the Football Hall of Fame. I don't really care. So I can't really say, oh, he should be in the Hall of Fame. He did have a long career. It worked for Harold Baines. Let's see. Tom Brady. Hey, Tom Brady. Yeah, he's won 7, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. Zach says, I'm old enough to remember when this show had 12 people in the chat, and a big portion of the content was Texas Car Dude trying to get Bo to sell him Rhino rookies. Oh, the good old days. Let's see. John, reword your question. For future reference, so I don't have to say it, it has to be someone retired long enough to be eligible, obviously. It wasn't obvious to most of us. If Sandberg played for a large market team, then he'd be Joe Morgan. I do not like Joe Morgan. I think your misplaced Rhino hate is much similar to my misplaced Joe Morgan hate. You're like either a Joe Morgan guy or a Sandberg guy. I think that's what it all comes down to. I'm a Sandberg guy. What does the stat comparison between Baines and Sandberg tell you about WAR as a meaningful stat? It tells me that Harold Baines shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, and Sandberg was a way better player. That's what WAR tells me. This is mostly a baseball show and mostly food talk. That is true. eBay. So where am I at with eBay? Transaction fees, my overages. So I made a little progress. I made baby steps last week. One of the category managers, I think like the main category manager for trading cards. Oh, for the record, John despises Joe Morgan. Oh, okay. We're on the same page there. I did receive a $100 credit, and the same message I've been getting for the last year. We'll pass this on to the tech team. Okay, $100 is not going to cut it. That's going to be like a week's worth of my overcharges on these split transactions. So, but that was a baby step. So I appreciate that. Thank you, eBay. Then I reached out to like the guy who's he's like head of payments. I don't even know what his title is. But he's a big wig in the payments sector. So he looped in another guy who I don't know. Maybe he's a tech guy. I don't want to say IT. I don't want to say coding. I don't want to get it wrong. But he's in somewhere. Let's see. Okay. So this guy who's been very helpful. He is the senior global product manager for payments at eBay. So shout out to him. He's been awesome. And then I'm working with, and so we've set up a 3-way call with another guy. Let's see. The other guy, I don't even know who the other guy is. Let's see. This guy is, we'll just Google him because I don't even know. I don't think he's responded to any of my messages. So he's probably even higher up. He's like, I'm not going to deal with this peon and his $1.50 cards. Let's see. Type in his name. So we have a Zoom call set up for 3 o'clock this afternoon. Oh, so he's a payment solutions specialist. So he's an experienced payments and cloud services professional focused on emerging web and cloud technology. He's an innovator, technologist, and entrepreneur. So this guy from eBay, these two guys from eBay, we're going to do a Zoom this afternoon, try to get to the bottom of what the hell's going on with my payment overcharges. I gave another one. I had Kyle, who was in here, bought a bunch of Josh Allen, sent me offers. I accepted all the offers. There were 5 of them. Guess what? eBay charged him right away. That's a great problem when somebody sends you an offer that eBay takes it right out. But guess what isn't cool? When somebody sends 5 offers and eBay takes it out each time and doesn't even allow an invoice to be sent. And so that one transaction turns into 5 transactions, which turns into $1.20 in overcharges. So I sent that, and I sent Kyle's message to eBay, to those two guys that I'm meeting with this afternoon. And so they sent a lengthy reply of how transaction fees work, which I already knew how transaction fees work. And I'm like, no. You don't understand. My buyer did not have the opportunity. He bought these all in one foul swoop, but wanted to wait for an invoice, but eBay charged him right away, hence charging me 30 cents each time when we could have taken care of it in one transaction. 5 times 5, $25. And they're like, oh, let's set up a Zoom call. So we've got the Zoom call this afternoon. We'll see where it goes. Hopefully I get some answers. I can report back tomorrow. So yes, Brian Dean, I will take notes. Write it down. So that's where I'm at with eBay. We've got a Zoom call this afternoon, try to get down to some answers, get some money back. You owe me, eBay. Let's see. Where are we at? Mark says Mets fans are not allowed to like Ryan Sandberg. That's kind of like Cubs fans. We can't like the Mets or Steve Garvey. I mean, even though it's been more than 50 years since 69, it's been damn near 40 years, 39 years since the 84 season in Garvey, but we can still hate Steve Garvey, right, John? Finally made it. Welcome, Brian. What's happening? Dan says, I feel like $100 credit in a way is their admission that they have some issue on their end, which hopefully will lead to a much larger credit. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like that to me told me we realize there's something going on here. And Bo, you are right. This should not be happening. But I'm not going to settle for $100 because they owe me about $2,000. So we'll see how that comes through. War, a hypothetical stat, is a crutch, so people who didn't watch the game can justify overpaying for cards. There, I said it. Rascal 30 says, do you collect multiples of your Cubs cards? I would say I don't. See, this is a tough one for me. Do I collect them? Yes. Do I seek them out? No. I came across a big lot of first Bowman and rookie cards of players that never made it big, got it from Goodwill. So yes, if they're Cubs, I definitely take a gander for a decent price. So yes, I do count duplicates in my collection. But if there's like who do I have next to me? A Don Kessinger. Like I have a Don Kessinger autograph that Paige and Deanie Bean traded me. Since I have it, I wouldn't go out and seek another one, even at a good price. If I found one at a show for like $5, it's like, nah, I already have it. I can use that $5 on something else. John says $100 credit means they fleeced you for $1,000. It's just a start. Yeah, I'm not settling for $100. That's for sure. And they fleeced me for more than $1,000 in these cases. Let's see. It is easier to list people who John doesn't despise versus who he does. Shorter list. Augustus says, I have to favor Sandberg since the Cubs were nice enough to loan him to my Phillies for a few years. Zach ain't wrong. Let's see. Augustus says, yes, I mentioned last week that was the problem. Let's see. Zach says, I agree with John. They are testing how much it will cost to fix this by instance versus fixing the problem. Absolutely. That's exactly the road they're going on. Well, let's just keep, oh crap. He's still talking about it on Twitter. I'm about to blast it on LinkedIn because I'm connected now with a lot of people that work at eBay. And if I don't get the answers that are to my liking, then we get to blast it and we'll just keep blasting it. Let's get a class action suit rolling. I could use another $3.71 check 8 years from now. Brian says, take notes. Brian K, the fourth Brian. How much does eBay make off the money they shouldn't have? Well, we've done some math. It could be a lot. Their cash flow is better because of it. Surely that has some implications. That's absolutely why it's not fast getting answers, because this could be hundreds of millions of dollars. And that's a lot of money. Paul says, record the call and post it to your channel. I don't know if that's legal. Let's see. Zoom call will end with Bo getting the same email PWCC got. Oh shit, yeah. Tomorrow morning's title. Why ComC is my only sales platform. The Zoom call didn't go well. If that's the title tomorrow, you know how the Zoom call went. You can record Zoom meetings. Excellent. That is a great suggestion. Wouldn't you have to have duplicates to get to 1 million? Absolutely. There's about, depending on which, I think, with Trading Card Database, I think there's like 220,000 unique Cubs cards in existence. So yes, it's going to take a lot of duplicates, which is good because I have a lot of duplicates. Brendan says 100 is a nuisance settlement. You're so right to press on. Hell yeah. Let's see. Cooter says, ask them, wouldn't their inability to accurately bill revenues constitute a material weakness in their internal controls that should be reported to their auditors? Bring popcorn. Ooh, I'm going to copy and paste that. Cooter, if you have anything else, shoot me a DM. Shoot me a DM with other really smart replies, intelligent replies. Let's see. Where's my word? Where's my word? Word. Bird is the word. Should it really take this long to open up a blank Word document? It's still going. It's still going. It's still opening. Okay, now the window has popped up. It's starting. This is how long it's taking my computer to open Microsoft Word. Boom. It just opened. Blank document. Boom. Okay, copy, paste. There you go. That's how long it takes my computer to open up Microsoft Word. Back to the chat. Why you could ask, why did you dip? You dip? Why'd you dip? Yes, hundreds of millions of dollars, and it's such a minor fee that only a few people have noticed. It's like the rob and get rested or hack one and skim a few pennies. Most definitely. In many cases, I didn't even notice. It's 30 cents at a time, and it's like, you don't notice until all of a sudden you audit your own account, and it's like, wait a second, this isn't making sense. But more so, since I have the volume disc, if I didn't have the volume discount, I wouldn't go through and itemize my fees. But since I do the volume discount, and I see that this person bought 12 cards, and there's 4 different transactions. Why are there 4 different transactions and they're still getting the discount on volume when not a single one of these transactions meets that criteria for a volume discount? And then you go in and you look, 30-cent transaction fee. And this is what I did when I showed them the Kyle reference with the Josh Allens. It's like, here, transaction fee, 5 of them. Should have been 1 transaction. Where are we at? Augusta says type concept that won't get noticed but still equals huge amounts. Yeah, it's like somebody made reference of it earlier last week or so. Office space, just decimals. We're talking 30 cents. And when you talk 30 cents multiplied by millions, you get hundreds of millions. Let's see. Brian says, Cooter is a lawyer or stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Adam Lee, what's up? John says, do you think the chief payment officer wants to go to the board and explain this? Covering and hushing is easier and a better career move. Ooh, that's a chief payment officer. That's a yes. Don't listen to Cooter. The carbon monoxide hasn't worn off yet. Transaction fee. Bo, you had me dancing to that. Transaction fee. Promotions. So I decided last week, it's like some of my oh my God, I'm going to say transactions the rest of the day. Some of my transactions are from repeat buyers, but yet I'm still being charged a promotions fee. It's a promoted listings. So initially I wanted to scale back to the minimum because it's like most of these people are probably just clicking on my links and it just happens to be a promoted listing. And boom, if you click the promoted listing, I'm getting charged. eBay's getting more money. So I'm like, I'm just going to scale back to the minimum, which I did. Boy, was that. I don't think I need to put my store on vacation mode when I go to spring training because I'll just go back to the minimum promoted listings because eBay suppresses your listings. I think I had, what did I come home to? Like 184 from all day Friday, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday. I had like 184 sales, which sometimes I can do that in a day. Well, many times I do that in a day. So I'm like, okay, something's up. So I went into let's go into traffic. So I went into my traffic, and I don't know if I'm curious what other people are seeing with their traffic. So let me go through impressions. And I'm curious if anybody else can do this. Follow along. Oh, now my review your traffic is a little messed up. I'm not getting the I just want to do it by like week. So let's just go into your traffic page. If anybody wants to follow along, any other sellers out there on eBay, go into your eBay summary and then review your traffic. So I'm going to just review the traffic from let's just do last week. So today's the 17th. So we'll go back to the 10th. I want to see here we go. Okay. So impressions. We're going to start with impressions. January 10th. January 10th, total impressions, 138,580 impressions. Promoted impressions, 0. So I must have turned it off last Tuesday. Wednesday, January 11th, total impressions, 163,221. Promoted, 0. Thursday, total impressions, 154,402. Promoted, 12. I'm curious what other people are seeing within their traffic. Friday, January 13th, promoted or total impressions, 117,552. Promoted impressions, 0. Saturday, January 14th, total impressions, 118,739. Promoted, 0. Sunday, January 15th, total impressions, 131,283. Promoted, 0. Monday, January 16th, I turned my promotions back up. Total impressions, 395,140. Promoted, 268,599. So that's quite the jump. That's quite interesting. So let's go back. So apparently January 10th is when I turned that off. Let's just go back to the first. Take a look at that bar graph. Woo! And you can see when I turned off my promotions. So instead of turning my vacation mode on or pausing my store or whatever, not going to do that. I'll just turn my promotions down, and that really suppresses your listings. So let's go back into the chat. Don't listen to Cooter. Oh, we talked about that. Zach and Porter says, watch Sandberg's kin runs transaction fees at eBay. Hey, he's from Washington. So they're pretty close to eBay headquarters. Frito Dorito, what's up? What is your promotion normally set to? So I don't even know what it was set to. It was pretty high because I'd have some that were at like 12%. 12% on a $1.50 card. That's like all of your profit. Let's see. Augustus says, already got mine up. What you looking for? 525,000 impressions last week, set to 3 to 4%. What the hell? Only 6,700 listings. Let's see. Paul says 85% of my impressions are from promoted listings, 28.2 million. And yeah, you can see my when I drop my promotions to like the bare minimum where it went. Augusta says 80 to 85% are promoted daily, 6 to 700 listings. Henry S says cards by Bo. That is my store. Yes. So So it looks like January 9th, Monday, is when I turned my impressions down because I had 241,000 promoted listings on promoted impressions on Monday, January 9th. So Sunday, January 8th, I had 854,419 total impressions on Thursday, on what? January 8th. 854,419. 713,298 were promoted. So that's 83%. So typically it looks like, 83, 84%, 82%, 81%, 80%, 78%, 76%. And that was during my sale. So I think a lot of people were seeing it through my Twitter and other platforms, 74%. So that's kind of those first 4 days, kind of an outlier with impressions. So I think this 84%, I think 83, 84% is kind of where my average is on impressions. Sunday, 100% was organic. So I guess that I just turn off promoted listings during spring training and I, won't sell a lot. So that also goes to show you promote your listings. Yeah, it's extra fees, but promote them. Let's see. We're all pretty consistent on our percentages. Yeah, like 80 to 85%. That's right where I'm at. So that's cranked back up and here we go. So and I actually wrote down my monthly impressions. So last January, my monthly impressions for last January were 12,342,000. My biggest month that I wrote down in front of me, write it down, Brian. July, I had 23 million impressions in the month of July. October, I was at 18.2 million. Let's take a look at what January for impressions, December 1st to December 31st. Impressions for December, 21.6 million impressions the month of December, which was 12% higher than November. Then October was 18.2 million. So that's my impressions. So cranked it back up, promote your listings. It'll do well for you. So that's what I had. Wish me luck. Fingers crossed we get some answers this afternoon. I've got a Zoom call, 3 p.m. I think that's Central Time. I got to make sure on my Google Calendar, is that Central Time or is that Pacific? Because they're out on the West Coast. But anyway, today is my Zoom call, 3 p.m. Just make sure, 3 p.m. Yes, so that's 3 p.m. Central Time. With a couple guys from the payments positions in eBay. Wish me luck. Let's see. Augusta says, yet 2/3 of my sales are organic. Well, that's good. That's good. If 2/3 of your sales are organic, you're not paying for promoted listings. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure your phone is. I'll actually use my good computer upstairs for the Zoom call. I'll make the good computer. So that's what I had for today. By the way, my eBay store is in the link. The link is in the description to this video. So check that out. 25% off 7 or more cards at regular price. eBay store link in the description. Take the tape. The tape is off. Thank you. Tomorrow morning, back at it, 7 a.m. Central. Remember, tomorrow, take out your garbage. If you are a Wednesday garbage day, I am. So I got to take it to the curb tonight. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Stay tuned. I'll have an update tomorrow morning on how the call went. Also, I'll be putting up a video later this week on some challenges that have arisen with the new house and with the basement and the card rooms. Fortunately, it's not all bad. So with that, I bid you adieu. Have a great Tuesday. Almost said Monday. Have a great Tuesday. And we'll chat tomorrow.